Next week, the reigning world champion of men's figure skating, Canadian Patrick Chan, will step on the ice in Nice, France, to defend his title. It will be his biggest test of the year and the latest stop on the international circuit that has seen him go undefeated for the past 15 months. Patrick's precision and artistry are now so refined, some are calling him the best men's skater there ever was. But in a time when figure skating has fallen from prominence, Patrick Chan is a star in a sport that has seemingly lost the attention of Canadians. The makings of a world champion are born in a dance studio. 12 hours into a training day where the focus is simply breath. This is how Patrick Chan wins the race, with precision, grace, and a work ethic that is unparalleled. What do you hear when you step on the ice?
I just hear my blades. I hear the run of my blades. I hear the crackle of the ice.
He has won nearly every award there is to win. 5 national titles, 3 Guinness World Records, and named the best athlete in the country by more than half a dozen organizations, placing him among the likes of Wayne Gretzky, Sidney Crosby, and Steve Nash. When did you know you were going on to something great?
I never knew. I never knew I was, and to this day I still don't know if I'm doing something great. I never knew this was going to come, and I still don't know if it's coming. It's still every day I take day by day as a fresh start.
The humility of Patrick's approach is perhaps because he nearly quit the sport entirely 2 years ago. Rock bottom, Vancouver 2010. Patrick faltered and finished a devastating 5th. His new coach, Christy Krall, was by his side.
His words to me were, "This is not how it was supposed to happen."
I wasn't able to achieve what I was demanded kind of to do. I was pacing like a tiger, like back and forth, just telling myself like, oh my God, this cannot be happening.
As Patrick Chan would soon discover, it would take learning how to lose before he could learn how to win.
It was one of the best things that could ever happen. I learned so much, and everything seemed to bloom after that.
What did you learn? You've changed a lot since then.
I learned that you have to be selective with who you surround yourself with.
The people he chose to surround himself with after the games became known as Team Chan. 5 coaches, each highly specialized, who would help carve a champion. Christy Krall is at the helm, Kathy Johnson is in charge of dance and movement, and Eddie Shipstead looks after jump technique and development.
We are each experts in our own field. So we add this surrounding layer around Patrick that really insulates him.
Eddie, Christy, and Kathy work with Patrick in Colorado Springs, where he lives and trains most of the year, while 2 other coaches back in Canada, a physical trainer and a chiropractor, round out the team.
Yeah, your hips are moving much better through this. Look how your core is really being accelerated through that. Isn't that great?
One of the biggest breakthroughs came with solidifying Patrick's quad. 4 rotations through the air in 0.6 of a second.
He had a very bad habit of, when he landed with all that force on his right hip, his hip would pop out and he would fall to the left.
It took 9 months using a piece of technology called Dartfish, which analyzes movement to the 1,000th of a second, to correct Patrick's quad landing.
Not only does it take great coordination, but it takes a tremendous amount of strength because they've got to be able to press up 4 times their body weight. So you're kind of like picking up a couch in your house and throwing it somewhere. But the most phenomenal thing, when he's coming down, he is absorbing 8 times his body weight, so kind of like a refrigerator falling on you, and he's going to stand up.
Then came Eddie Shipstead, reinforcing the motion with a specialized harness.
It's basically a giant fishing pole that I skate around with. So part of my battle is just skating as fast as Patrick Chan.
That's a big suspension there, right? Inhale. Don't just hit it and hold.
The beauty behind his technique is much to the credit of Kathy Johnson, a modern dancer from Juilliard who made Patrick watch videos of Baryshnikov to understand movement.
So I showed him pictures, I showed him video of Baryshnikov jumping, all core, no upper body movement, and he looked at it and it clicked for him. He was like, oh my gosh, absolutely.
It was translating that new dance vocabulary onto the ice that has set Patrick apart. A focus on hands, the extension of the body, and creating lines.
Well, what we're looking for is not only his activation through his core, so he's light and lifted on his leg, but the stretch through the free leg and the upper body.
Morning. Hate mornings.
There isn't a minute of Patrick's day that isn't accounted for. His training, a precisely calculated formula. It starts at the gym, 5 days a week, where he goes through a customized workout. There are weekly visits to the chiropractor and the massage therapist. Even recovery time is scheduled with a daily nap and the use of compression pants 2 to 3 times a week.
I squeeze all the blood out of my feet, up my legs, and so I have no more blood in my legs, and then it'll release it. It'll deflate, and then all the blood will rush into my legs again, and that's all fresh blood, so that's what we want. So I can have a prime day the next day.
The formula worked.
Can you say perfection?
In 2011, the man who almost abandoned the sport a year earlier won every competition he entered. Today, when Patrick Chan competes, he says he's competing against the world champion himself. I was surprised to hear you say a couple of days ago, if the Olympics were next week, I would not be ready.
For sure.
You're world champion. What's left to be done?
I have tons of things I can make better. The smallest things as my hands, to the smallest thing as looking at the audience a second longer. It's like tweaking a Formula One car.
Next on 16 by 9, the man behind the medals.
What's it like being a sex symbol?
A sex symbol. Yeah? Cool. So, Patrick, congratulations on winning the world. Well done. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Is there anything you can do better than Kurt Browning at this point in your career? Yeah, I can do this. Oh, see you on the ice. Yep, no.
Despite Patrick Chan's newfound maturity on the ice, there is a childlike exuberance to him that has never been lost.
My relationship with Patrick is, put it this way, if we were given a chance to get in trouble, we probably would.
You've been working out?
Longtime friend and champion figure skater, Kurt Browning. Who is he beyond the skater?
Patrick is a big kid. He really is.
Patrick's so normal, you almost forget he's a world champion. Of course, his start was like that of so many other young Canadian boys. At 5, he asked his parents if he could play hockey. Wanting him to have a proper technique first, they put him in figure skating. His father, Louis, was there the first day Patrick put skates on.
He stepped out of the gate and fell down. Then he got up and fell down again because of the pick. And he fell down, I think, about 15 times in about 5 minutes. So I told him, I said, oh, I think, Patrick, I think we would practice enough for today.
When did you know your son had extraordinary talent?
The funny thing is, I'm not sure I ever did. We never intended for Patrick to be a champion. What we wanted him to do was fit well in society, to do well, and perhaps to one day have a good career.
As Patrick continued to improve, a career in skating quickly became an option, and the medals started piling up. Now 21, Patrick's maturity has caught up with his talent. He's dating, and he's attracting a new type of attention. What's it like being a sex symbol?
A sex symbol.
Your mom is in the room.
I don't really know what that means. Yeah? Cool.
There are throngs of teenage girls who just watch you go by and gasp. Women love you.
Yeah. I love them back. Simple as that.
The other woman in Patrick's life is his mother. And while she is notoriously media shy, her sacrifice doesn't go unnoticed. She lives apart from her husband in Colorado Springs, all to support Patrick's training. Who keeps your schedule straight?
My mother. My mom's my manager. My dad's my the CEO of my company.
Patrick's father, meanwhile, lives and works back in Toronto, the family coming together most often for competitions. You've just dedicated your entire life to figure skating for your son.
I think it's something that many parents would do.
I'm driving in my silver Bullet. We're going to Manatee Springs, a place called Manatee Springs.
While we were in town, Patrick gave us a tour of his new home in his beloved Chevy Cavalier.
Brought a couple girls here for my dates.
Despite being at the top, Patrick's already talking about life after skating. He's even applied to Harvard. What do you want to do after skating?
I don't know. People joked around, be a politician or, I don't know.
Seriously? What party would you run for?
I'm not going to say. Not going to say.
The Liberals are looking for a new leader right now. But while Patrick's here in Colorado Springs, his focus is singular. This is where he comes to work.
Figure skating is a lonely little sport. It's not a team. We're not playing hockey here. We're doing an individual sport, an individual guy, and he has a very limited friendship here. He gets lonely.
As for Patrick's image, well, it's just as clean-cut as it appears. Does he have any vices, any bad habits at all? Hey, Patrick, is that your training diet? You ever catch him smoking out back?
What kind of cookies are they?
I have a picture of him eating a donut.
No!
Yeah. On the ice.
Do you ever skate a really hard day and then crack a beer at the end of it?
Never. I'm allergic to alcohol, so I can't drink.
Anything bad?
I have a very bad habit with video games.
I've heard about the video games.
Yeah. Oh, your door flew open.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a bad balance, all things considered, for a young boy who laced up figure skates one day, all because he wanted to play hockey. Ever wonder what the NHL would look like with Patrick Chan in it?
I played with him once. We accidentally hip-checked each other face-to-face. We went down, so if I can knock him down, then
He should stick with figure skating.
he should stick with figure skating.
Next on 16 by 9, skating for more than a medal.
I think he always wants to make a statement.
It is 8 at night in Colorado Springs, And Patrick Chan is about to step on the ice at the Four Continents competition, his biggest test before the Worlds this year in France.
All ready for tonight?
Trained my whole life for this, I guess, yeah. It should be, right?
It will be make or break in the first 30 seconds of his free skate with back-to-back quads. And with the 2010 world champion from Japan also competing, there will be little margin for error. What do you feel when you're about to step on the ice before a competition?
It's like a tingle through your body. I just get this kind of this surge up my spine and up my neck.
Just before he starts competing, we've noticed that on the good days, he may have fire in his eyes. You know, that's what that means. His concentration is 100% there.
For 4 minutes and 39 seconds, he skates a near flawless performance. The hours of training paying off, staving off the exhaustion in the final moments. He ends with a smile, knowing he's done it. How good is Patrick Chan?
I think he's the greatest skater that's ever been. You hear it with his edges, you feel it with the breeze of him skating by, and then you see it, you know, the big jumps and the spins, and a program that is completely done by the heart.
The top scorer, 176.
At 30 points above the next closest skater, this will be Patrick's second win of the year. And yet at the press conference that followed, a packed room of reporters clamored not for the man with the gold medal, but for the second place finisher from Japan.
I think we've become such good athletes that we get on the ice.
It's a sign of the times that while skating is all the rage in Asia, it's no longer what it once was in Canada. Three-time world champion, Kurt Browning.
Patrick is a star in the sport that isn't a star anymore, and that sucks for him.
Is he skating in the wrong time?
When you're winning and beating everybody, then that's your right time. But if he wants to be able to, you know, have the kind of financial success that the skaters in my generation did, he's definitely skating in the wrong time.
The celebrity, money, and sponsorships that came at the height of figure skating's popularity in Canada back in the 90s have waned considerably. Today, the financial burden of paying for training and coaching is largely carried by the athlete. And in Patrick's case, that means his parents. It's been reported that the annual cost to support Patrick's figure skating are $160,000.
Well, that's probably on the low side.
Some of that money comes from Canada's Chinese community, which holds annual fundraisers to help support Patrick.
Every time I come home, it's like I see all of you. We're like a big family. Thank you for coming.
It's Patrick's connection to his heritage that was partly behind controversial remarks he made last June. In an interview, he suggested that if his parents hadn't immigrated and he skated for China instead, they wouldn't have had to make such sacrifices, and the sport on the whole would have greater respect. The backlash from those comments was stinging, and today he's far more cautious when the topic is raised.
I'm happy with what I have in Canada. I'm so happy. The attention has gone up a lot since all the awards and the successes, of course, this past year. Just the genuine love and care for me and what they express and how much they love to see me skate.
Still, Patrick isn't shy about saying he wants more attention for his sport, that it's time it's reinvigorated in Canada, and he sees an opportunity to do that. Sochi, 2014.
It's a competition for me to kind of redeem myself, a chance for me to bring out the newfound skater in me, and hopefully I can reach out into the million of viewers and draw them into my skating and who I am.
Team Chan has already started planning, knowing the competition could be tougher than ever. Three-time Olympic medalist Yevgeny Plushenko has begun a comeback, while there are rumors the 2010 gold medalist Evan Lysacek may also resurface.
What does he have to do between now and Sochi, 2 years away?
2 years away?
To win that gold.
He just has to know that as he's getting closer to that moment, that one moment that could define him and Canada, that he has to get calmer, actually. That he is getting closer to the moment when he can control his destiny.
6 Canadian male figure skaters have held the title of world champion before, but none has been able to translate that into Olympic gold.
With the competitors out there now, if he went to Sochi, I believe he would win. I think for him, he feels that there's more he wants to do and he wants to achieve before he steps out on that ice in the Olympic Games.
So is what you're saying that he doesn't just want to win gold at Sochi, he wants to make a statement.
Exactly. I think he always wants to make a statement.
An exclamation mark on skating that he hopes Canadians will take notice of.
My ultimate goal is to bring skating back on the forefront. I hope I can do that. That'd be a dream come true for me.
Coming up next week, Canada's medical marijuana program was created to help those in need of relief. But 16 by 9 has uncovered a network of people who are profiting off the backs of vulnerable patients.
As I was sitting down, he said, "Okay, I need the $1,000.
The part I thought was odd is there was no receipt for the cash.
I paid in cash directly. You know, I wouldn't have the license if I didn't pay that $250.
I felt like I was a part of a scam or something, honestly.
It's not only unacceptable, it is unethical.
You're also profiting.
If you want to label it profiting.
So essentially how the program is set up now, the government is funding the black market.
My team right now have anywhere from 10 to 12 people. They all have Health Canada licenses.
It's devastating because I think that it does a disservice to physicians, to the patients. It renders the whole program a mockery.
We hope you'll join us next Saturday for that story. Until then, that is our broadcast for tonight. I'm Carolyn Jarvis. From all of us here at 16 by 9, thanks for watching and have a great weekend.